Well, boys, I guess it's my lucky day. There is about 20 people online on MX Bikes at the moment because of the server issues. I just kind of went back and forth between the local and world on multiplayer for like 5 minutes. And eventually there was about 6 servers that showed up. One of which I couldn't join, something to do with Supermoto tyres. They'd left it as open, so you had to have like everything in the game downloaded. And then this one, as you can see, we've got about 7-ish, more people joining, 8 people in here on Washington. However, I did select to start a race as a poll, and nobody's joining. So I don't know if we're going to get a race going on this or not. I would hope so, because it would be nice to actually do an online race on this game for a change. And I'm just going to ride around for a bit, and with the power of editing, if we get on the gate, great. If not, you never see this video.
For all of you passionate gamers, you can now get 20% off all G Fuel products worldwide by using code LINS at checkout. And for any of you motorheads looking for some new drip or apparel, use code MXPR_LINS15 fxrracing.eu to get 15% off. All links and codes are in the description down below. Enjoy the video and drop a cheeky little like and subscribe.
Yeah, it doesn't look like racing's going to happen anytime soon, boys. But I like being undercover in these servers because people don't know it's me. There's someone in here bragging about having the fastest lap in the lobby. And I was, oh, it's easy work. I can beat that in 1 attempt, blah, blah, blah. And I get so, like, upset about it. But since there's no racing happening, because I don't know why, you know, there's literally 6 servers on the game right now, boys. But people would rather sit and just spin laps practicing rather than just sticking to the testing like they've been forced to do recently. Or just do an actual race. Race it would be lovely. I don't see the point of multiplayer unless you're actually doing races. I really, really don't. But we're rocking the Dookie today. Love the Suzuki. Mostly because my boy Kenneth got the job done last night. Sorry for spoilers if you haven't watched the racing yet. But if you haven't watched it yet, why are you watching this video before you've watched the racing anyway? I have no idea. Get your priorities right. I'm so happy. Ken's been due a win. I love Ken so much. And it was kind of his sort of track to do so. Like, the man is so good in those sort of conditions. The man's throttle control is very much on point, so I was very, very happy to see that. I don't think there was anything that exciting throughout the rest of the night. I mean, we had the 2 red flags early on. Jordan Smith, I'd be interested to... I haven't seen anything yet or read anything. I'd be interested to get Jordan's perspective on the whole yellow flag jumping into the back of kitchen situation, because... I'm guessing he just didn't see there was yellows and didn't have any idea that Levi would be checking up like that. But it was very, very freak accident. I'm very thankful, I suppose, that that wasn't worse than it was. Like, both of them could have been out for the season if that landing went any worse than it did. But yeah, very, very interesting night. I don't know if I enjoy or don't enjoy the more hard-packed, slippery rounds like Glendale, because it's nice to mix things up a bit. You can see like the riders fighting with traction, but there were some parts of the track there that I thought were just a bit of an odd choice. So basically there's a sand section, then a left 90, then another left 90 into another sand section, which I think on normal tracks would be a-okay. The issue is, because it's hard pack as well, you're going into sand, dragging sand out onto this already really shiny, like almost getting to Blue Groove Texas track. And yeah, it's just very, very weird. We're getting a race going now, so yay. Right, shall we take bets on if at least half of the pit... Does that say... I see a DNS at the bottom left there. Does that say... Is that Rusma? Is Charlie... Was Charlie in here? Yeah, should we take bets on how many people actually finish this race? Because for whatever reason, I think it's a Washougal exclusive, not many people ever seem to finish the Washougal races, and I don't know why. It's very, very odd. It seems to be one of them tracks. I think what it is because it's such a long track. So you can see on the top left, just above the timing, well, just above the positions right now, it says like 1 out of 5. It ends up being like 5.5 to almost like 5 3/4 laps just because of where the finish line is, and the lap times are almost 2 minutes long, so it's a little bit of a longer race than you'd usually get in these online lobbies. But you know what, at this point I'm going to take any race I can get. I've been having a little bit of an MX Bikes itch the last few days. I'm in my track building era right now, and it's actually gross. So I said that my last track was going to be like a one and done, and the reason I said that originally was because when I first tried making track number 2, I was just in struggle mode. I've realised that Supercross might be just easier for me because there's no like custom height maps involved in that in terms of just general, general height. So it's not like nationals where you've got rolling hills, for example, like that in the background. Supercross, it's nice. It's on flat ground, which is what my original national track was. It was completely smooth ground, no elevation at all, and that's easy to do because I have very, very limited Photoshop skills. I'm quite computer illiterate now thinking about it, but I've had to learn everything from scratch again, which I hate doing. I hate not knowing the answers to things and having to go back and asking people multiple questions within the space of a few hours, but we're getting there. We're getting there. So if you missed out previously on what I was saying, I'm going to make like 4 or 5 rounds of a pit bike Supercross series. Don't be scared off by the word pit bike. It's not the smallest ones. It's a CRF 110 big bore bike, which is completely legit. It's on MXB mods. It's not one of them ripped 112 super mini things that the Alpha Mods boys have lurking around in the black market of MX bikes. So it's all legit. Will all be good fun. And I'm kind of realising just how long it's going to take because the Resolute Kraken track helper, it tracks how long you've been working on each project. And on the first track alone, I want to say I'm like 75%-ish done now, maybe more like 60 or so. It's Blender and object placement and all that stuff, and actually trying to be a bit artsy and make the tracks look good, which is what takes longer than designing the track itself. It's taken me just over 3 days now of real world time, which is pretty disgusting if you ask me, and that's just for one round. So that's taken, well, I don't know, what are we doing, 24, 48, 60, not 60, 72, 72, I think it's 72 hours in the space of like a week. I've been absolutely grinding away on it. So to do that across 4 or 5 tracks, I'm sure the process will get a little bit quicker now that I'm kind of up to speed again and know what I'm doing. But yeah, it's going to take a long time, that is for sure. But I'm enjoying the process again. I've been helped so much by so many people, and it's just, I'm very, very grateful for all the help. Otherwise, it would never happen. From the preview that you saw of round 1 before, I've changed one rhythm section, and then obviously I'm working on scenery and stuff. Then I need to do center lines. There's a great, I don't know if you saw that for a split second at the bottom of the mini map on the right hand side. There's like a 4 or 5 rider battle going on for P2. Loving life. The guy who was giving it Mr. Big Pants in the pre-race lobby is currently sat in P5, so we'll see where he finishes off. And the guy in P2 is a keyboard player, which I find more impressive than anything, to be fair. I tried playing keyboard twice on this game, probably never will again. It's a horrendous experience. It's probably a combination of 2 things, where the game doesn't respond too well by those sorts of, like jerky inputs, where it's all or nothing. The game likes you being as smooth as possible. But also, I'm just bad on keyboard in general. There's something about the finger dexterity that doesn't really work out too well for me. But to those guys that are keyboard players and they put in a decent amount of time and effort, fair play to you. I don't know why you wouldn't just go out and get a controller, but some things are personal preference. I take games like Trackmania, for example. I do watch a fair bit of Trackmania. There's people that are fast on everything from steering wheel to controller to keyboard, that all kind of device inputs seem to be relatively equal. There's definitely some circumstances, some types of tracks, some types of corners where one input is better than another. But overall, they seem to be quite on par, but I don't think that's the case in MX bikes. It's either not the case and controller is vastly superior and easier to get fast on, or it's just because the pool of players who play on keyboard isn't that big. I think that could be another reason. Now, I always find it really difficult to bite my tongue sometimes, because I see a lot of the ongoings behind the scenes, whether it's maybe preview pictures of like aerial tracks that we're doing. Like Stone sends me preview pictures like a day or so before, so I can get a thumbnail made for live streams, etc. Or whether it's being in the dev chat, just talking about the game and what's happening with the game. Obviously, the elephant in the room right now is the DDoS attack scale on the servers, and I would just like to say beforehand, there's absolutely no point going after people that have no involvement with it at all. Like, I've even seen people blaming Stone Rider not Stone Run. I've seen people blaming like Paboso for stuff that goes on in the shop. I've seen people blaming Nico for like the master servers not working. Just make sure you get the relevant people before you start going and dogging people out. But then also, the way I'm looking at it right now is, yes, server protection should have been a thing in the first place, so it can't get DDoSed. I believe that is what's being worked on now, and changing servers, server hosts, blah, 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 to get all that sorted, so hopefully this doesn't happen in the future. So whilst it's a negative right now, it's a positive for the future of the game, so it shouldn't happen again. The way I look at it, there's no point saying I'll just fix it. It's like, imagine someone is literally shooting you with bullets over and over and over again, and someone is sat there saying, just stop bleeding. Just make your body work, but you're riddled with holes that just keep coming. You're fighting a losing battle. You're never going to win if the server's being constantly under attack. I can't say much more. However, what has happened makes me a very, very happy man, and I'm sure we'll have more information on this in a few days to come. And I should probably ask if I can say anything about it as well. But mistakes have been made. Let's just say that much. But we're like 4 out of 5. We're 30 seconds up. There's been 2 disqualifications. Mr. Hotlap is currently sat in P4, although he's only 2 seconds behind P2, so you could probably get a P2 by the end of it. But I would like to preface this, by the way, boys. If you are one of them people that has a tendency to rock around in these public servers that host stock tracks a lot, make sure you're not getting a false sense of security or a false sense of confidence. You need to expand your horizons a little bit, push yourselves outside the box a tiny bit, and play some slightly harder tracks, because although you'll struggle at first, you'll eventually learn how to go fast on those rough tracks, and then when you come back to the stock tracks from time to time, just for a little bit of a mess around, or maybe they're the only servers that are available. Love how the rut on that face the jump is literally off the track because everyone's low line on it, including me. I'm not a complaint, just an observation. I've always gone over there. Just don't get a full sense of security, because once you learn how to go fast on super rough and challenging tracks, when you come back to these, you'll be even faster, like a couple of seconds faster. So you definitely venture out of the box a little bit. I saw someone leave a comment on one of my videos the other day saying, can you please make a video on why people shouldn't play forest and stock tracks over and over and over again? And people are allowed to play whatever they want to play. That's purely just my suggestion on if they want to get better at the game, but I'm aware some people don't want to do that. You know, they're here for the casual aspect of it, and I can get behind that. I certainly wish that I enjoyed this game much more from a casual perspective. Can't. Oh no, he was just being a really good lapper. I couldn't tell if he was being a bit wobbly or what was going on there, but that is a very rare occasion that you see good lappers in public lobbies, so thank you very much, sir. So this is his name, Boosk, I think? Boosk was his name? I believe so. As you can see, on the left-hand side again, I was 100% right before the gate dropped. Half of the people were going to leave the lobby. So we started with 9 if we exclude the DNS, and 4 people have left. So we'll do some quick maths. It's just under half. I apologise. We might even, if this lap goes to plan, like if this lap goes exceedingly well, we could even finish with a minute win here, which would be nice. I probably should have done the challenge type of video. Issue is, it's always very, very hard to judge what sort of a lobby you're in when you're going into the races. So 30-second, great. Minute, great. But if you get nowhere near the lead, because there might be 1 or 2 really, really fast guys in there, was there even much point? I really do not know. So I only gained 2 seconds. Oh, actually, no, this could be close. This could be very, very close. I mean, we'll see by the end. I think I'm going to be a minute ahead of at least P3. But P2 now is 53 seconds behind. 7 seconds over the course of 2 sectors is quite a lot, so we shall see. But there's a cheeky little dubski in the bag there. The next clip that you will see is it changing from 53 seconds to hopefully a minute by the time they hit the finish line. Look at this little last lap battle these 3 are having. This looks sick. Oh my god, my camera can't keep up. Jesus. This is for P2, by the way. All 3 of these just on top of each other. I wonder if they've been waiting for each other at all, or if it was just that good a race. Boy, you're never going to make a pass on the inside there, buddy. Hate to break it to you. But the final gap at the end was 1 minute and 4 seconds. That was good fun. Unfortunately, this guy got 10 seconds cut to the end. But if you enjoyed, please do drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, all that good stuff. I hope you have a lovely rest of the day, and I bless your game with hopefully good luck to be able to join any sort of online server. Hopefully it's fixed. Time will tell. Catch you guys next time. Peace.
I'm working hard, I'm sacrificing my life, I'm sacrificing my mind, I'm sacrificing my sanity, but most importantly, I'm sacrificing my time. Boy, I feel fine, I feel like I am a king. Honestly, I can't complain. Even with faith that's the size of a grain of some salt, I will still move a mountain and do what I want. I got salt to beat with my rhyme.